Hi everyone, it's Donna here, and I thought I would come on today and just share with you some of my favorite botanical and nature books that I use in my journals all the time. Some of these I've already showed in previous videos briefly as when I purchased them. Some I haven't showed, but I thought I'd do everything all at one time so you can see the kinds of books that I use and go look for them yourself. Most of them, well, some of them, probably half of them, I've purchased at, I have a favorite thrift store that I go to all the time that has been closed for the last 5 months. I miss it so bad. But anyway, they have lots of books there at great prices. And the rest I got at on eBay. So let's get started. Of course, I'm going to start with everybody's favorite, which is the Edith Holden, A Country Diary of an Edwardian Lady by Edith Holden. This one was published in 1977. And I'm just going to flip through each one so you can see all the different... I'm going to tell you the pros and cons of each of these books as I get to them. This one, the pro, of course, is all the wonderful images. One of the cons is that it's two-sided. So if you're going to use the images on tags or journal cards, you have to pick which side. But it's nice, thick paper. Makes good pages in journals. They are stitched in, so you can cut the stitches and take the 2-page spreads out. So that's good. Great images. Just about everybody that makes journals uses this book. This is getting harder and harder to find on eBay. Some of these you can purchase on Amazon, but when I looked on Amazon, the prices were ridiculous. You can usually get a better price on eBay. This is one I purchased not too long ago. It's A Passion for Orchids. One of the pros of this country diary is the size of it. It's... Alright, I need to move my books. Let me rearrange here for a second so I can use my measuring. It's 7 by 9, so it's a good size for a journal. This one is bigger. It is 9 by 10 and a half, and it was published in where's the date? I don't see the date. Oh, 2002. So this is a pretty current book. You can't copy anything in it. You'll have to use the pages as they are, but they're wonderful, wonderful illustrations of orchids. Good thing is the image is only on one side, so you don't have to pick. Bad thing is the pages are so big that you will have to fold in the middle, although when you fold in the middle it makes a good size for a journal. So that's this one. I've only used one image out of this one so far, but you can make large if you need a large journal tag. Gorgeous images in that. This one, The Country Flowers of a Victorian Lady, and this one the illustrator is Fanny Robinson. This one was published, I don't know. I don't still have the cover page, but again, as you see, I've already started taking this one apart. So the good thing is it's string bound, so you can take the pages out and get 2-page spreads. It's a little bit larger book, 8 by about 9 and a half. what I like about this book is they have these like poems or things at the bottom that are in this beautiful, beautiful font, kind of like a gothic font. But great images. I've already used quite a few pages out of this one. So that is The Country Flowers of a Victorian Lady, Fanny Robinson. I have two books by this artist, P.J. Ridote. This one is Ridotes Roses. This one I got at the thrift store for $2. Great find. And it has, oh, it's a good size. It's 8.5 by 11, so it's like a regular page size. Good thing is it's string bound, so you can cut the strings and get the pages out easily. Another good thing is the pages are one-sided, so you don't have to pick between two different illustrations when you want to use them. One of the downsides, it's a larger book, so in order to use the illustrations, you can fussy cut just portions of it, which is great for a tag, or you can make a giant tag if you need a very large tag. But the flowers illustrations are beautiful. So that's Ridotes Roses. This one doesn't have the dust cover, but Ridotes Fairest Flowers. This one I paid $2 for again at my favorite thrift store. This one was published in 1987. Excuse me, sip of coffee. And beautiful. This is a large, very large book. 9 by a little over 12. So very large pages. So this one again is kind of difficult to use as it is unless you fold the pages, but then you end up with something not so good on one side of the pages. But the illustrations are great. Good thing is it's only one-sided again, so you don't have to pick, but lots and lots of illustrations, and I've already used quite a few out of here, and there's still a lot left. Another of my favorite, Ridotes Fairest Flowers. Oh, a minute. Now, some of my favorite bird books. This one is called The Book of North American Birds, and it's a Reader's Digest bird. These are kind of, the rest of these are kind of like field guides. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot one. The Women of Flowers. This one is wonderful. I love it. It's about women from the Victorian era, the 1800s, and some earlier, that were illustrators, floral illustrators, and it tells about their story and how they became illustrators, the struggles they had. It's very interesting reading. Actually, I'm about 2/3 of the way through reading this one before I cut it up. I actually have two copies of this one, but it's a great size. It is almost 6 inches by 7 inches, so it's a good size for a journal. It has some text in it, but it does have a variety of floral images from a variety of different artists. Some of them are larger, some are smaller. Maybe those two is pretty. So it's got lots of images. It has some smaller ones in the front, I think. No, maybe not. So great book. The pages are nice and thick, so they make good journaling cards. There's stitching, so you can get it apart easily for 2-page spreads for pages and journals. Just a great all-around book. This one I got on eBay. I can't remember how much I paid for it. The Women of Flowers by Jack Kramer. Jack Kramer also published that one on orchids. Okay, now on to the kind of field guide type of books. The Book of North American Birds, a Reader's Digest book. It is a tall book, about 6.5 by 11. It has lots of great illustrations of birds. One of the bad things about it is glued. The pages are glued in, so you have to tear them out. You can't get a 2-page spread directly from the book. Another bad thing is there's a picture on either side, so you have to pick which one you want to use, and you sacrifice the other one. But they're great illustrated images of birds. Those pretty cardinals. I have these in my backyard. Great for fussy cutting. I use these for pockets on pages also. It's a big book. It's 576 pages, so you've got lots of birds to pick from. So that is North American Birds. This one is Hamlin Color Guides Songbirds. And this one, do I know when it was published? This one I've already taken quite a bit apart. Oh yeah, 1980. I've taken this. This is all pretty much taken. Well, it is pretty much taken apart. Good thing is, you can get the pages apart easily to get a 2-page spread. The pages are nice matte pages. Fairly heavy pages. Not as heavy as the Edith Holden one, but a good weight. Has great images of birds. It can be fussy cut, or I use these a lot as pages because it's a perfect size. It's 6 by 9, 6 by 8 3/4, so it's the perfect size for a 6 by 9 journal. Very pretty images. Great for fussy cutting also. So, and I can't remember where I got this one. If I got it on eBay or at the thrift store. So that is Hamlin, Hamlyn, Color Guide Songbirds. And the next one is Audubon's Birds of America, published by Macmillan. I don't have the dust cover. Actually, the dust cover had these feathers on it too, which I've already used. Good thing is this one can be totally disassembled without by just cutting the strings. And who doesn't love Audubon's birds? Well, I'm going to have to kind of flip through because I've already taken it totally apart. So this is also a great size for a journal. It is 5.5 by 8, perfect size for a journal. Fairly heavyweight pages in this one, matte. They're not shiny. And this particular one has a little bit of browning around the edge, which is great. Great pictures. I come in. I'll make sure I don't go off screen. Pretty swan. And these are more pictures of birds in their habitat. So that's a great book. Audubon's Birds of America. Audubon's Birds of America. Now on to the floral ones. This one is more all around. This one is Reader's Digest North American Wildlife, an illustrated guide to 2,000 plants and animals. This one I paid $2 for at my favorite thrift store. Bad thing about this one is it's glued in, so you can't take the pages out for a 2-page spread, and it's two-sided. So, and this has a big variety. You have sections on mammals. You've got birds. I just saw that bird on my walk this morning with my dog, sandhill crane. Huge birds. They're almost as tall as I am. Well, probably up to my shoulder at least. You've got birds. You've got reptiles. This is kind of a field guide. Amphibians. So you've got your frogs. You've got your fish. You've got insects, which includes, is there butterflies? Where are the butterflies? Some butterflies. Other invertebrates. You've got trees. You've got shrubs. Then you have a big section on wildflowers. Almost the rest of the book. These make great journal cards. Great for fussy cutting. It's a big book. There's like, how many pages? 500 and over 550 pages. So you got all your wildflowers. All of that. Then you got ferns. Other non-flowering plants. Seaweed. Mushrooms. You've got a whole section on mushrooms. Oops. So that's one of my favorites. Great fussy cutting book. Reader's Digest, North American Wildlife. This one here, a field guide in color to wildflowers. 1,200 illustrations in full color. This one measures 6 by 8.5, so it's a perfect size for a journal if you want to use the pages as they are. Good thing is it's, I've already done some disassembling on this one. You can get the 2-page spreads. Other good thing, it's a matte finish. They're all illustrations, and the images are on one side of the page, so if you want to use them for a journaling card, you don't have to sacrifice something on the back. And there's all kinds of great fussy cutting flowers. And there, it's kind of separated by color, flower color. You've got your purple flowers, your green, your browns, your blues. Also great for journal cards and fussy cutting, especially for fussy cutting. I do a lot of fussy cutting out of this book. So that is Field Guide in Color to Wildflowers. And this one was published, do I have when it was published? 1975. Here's a little book, The Concise Guide to Mushrooms and Toadstools by Gordon Dixon. It measures about 5 inches by about 7.5. Cute little book. It does come apart, which I've already started doing with this one. I've already used some of the pages. But who doesn't love their mushrooms? They make great pages for journals, great for fussy cutting. Did I say when this one was published? This one was 1990. It's a current book. But great mushroom images. And mushrooms and fungi. Not sure I'll use these pages, but that one's pretty cool. So that's a cute little mushroom book that I have. I think I got this one on eBay, and I cannot remember how much I paid for it. This one I got on can't remember if I got this one. Yeah, I got this one on eBay because I took a chance on it. Wildflowers of Britain and Europe, a pocket guide to wildflowers of Britain and Europe by Helen Percy. It measures about 5 inches by about 7. So the pages are a good size. The bad thing is most of these are all photo images, which are okay. I prefer illustrations, but I've used these in as journal cards before. Got lots of pictures. Bad news is that it's glued in, so you have to tear the pages out to use them. You can't get a 2-page spread directly from the book. You have to make one if you're going to use it that way. So that's Pocket Guide to Wildflowers of Britain and Europe. This one is a Science and Nature Guides Wildflowers by World Book Inc. I think this one I got on eBay too. This at one time was a library book. It was published. What's the one that's in the back? It was published in 2005, and it's a cute little book. I haven't started taking this one apart yet, I don't think. I can't remember if this, I think you have to take the pages out. It's kind of a big book, so it's 8 3/4 by 10, so it's a good sized book. You can probably use this for a traveler's notebook if you can find a page that you like and fold it in half. But it's got some pretty cool illustrations in it. These would make good journaling cards. Like that whole section right there, that one. It has potential for journaling cards. They're all illustrations. Good for fussy cutting. So that one was a pretty good find. Sometimes I'll just go search on eBay and I'll take a chance. Like, I wasn't crazy about this one when I got it, but I didn't pay a lot for it. This one I was happy with when I got it. So that was Science and Nature Guides Wildflowers. And lastly, my most recent purchase is this one called, I don't even know how to pronounce it, Florilegium, Florilegium, by Basilius Bessler, The Book of Plants. This one actually, well, it measures, it's a good sized book, or a thick book, 5.5 by about 8 inches. So it's a great size for a journal. It is actually a reproduction of a book from 1613. The illustrations in this book are from 1613. And it is a, what's the best way to do this? It has some great, just this kind of the story of the time, but you've got all kinds of great illustrations in all different sizes. Great for journaling cards. This one is string bound, so you can cut the strings and take out 2-page spreads, and this is a perfect size for using a 2-page spread in a journal. Great illustrated book of flowers. And these images are all from the 1600s early 1600s. Now, this leads me up to another place, another favorite source that I've recently come across and am obsessed with, and that's a couple of websites on the internet that have scans of books like this one that these images came from the 1600s. And those are, let me pull this over here. There are two websites that, there's more, I'm sure there's more, but there's two that I go to all the time now, and I've spent hours and hours scanning through these websites. One, and my favorite one, is archive.org, and the other one is biodiversitylibrary.org. And these are places that house scanned antique. They have more than just books. They have all kinds of content, but I go there for the books. Archive.org I like because you can open an account and you can save, when you find a book that you really like that you're going to use the images from, you can save them to your favorites. And I'm going to, in the description box to this video, I'm going to put this list. These are some of the ones that I have saved, or some of the searches that you can do to find some great books. And some of these are actual books. And when you find a book that you like, I believe you can actually download the whole book. It depends on when the book was published. Some books that are still in copyright, you can't do that. You can't even look at them. You have to like check them out or something like that. But both of these sites have a way to filter your search by time period or by year. So you can search for just ones that are, like 1800s or a certain year. This top one on here, Larousse pour tous. It's a French dictionary encyclopedia, and this was where some of the images that are in Tim Holtz's field guides packet of ephemera, where some of those images came from. And I found that because at the bottom of, I think, the mushroom one, I saw Larousse pour tous. Larousse pour tous. I saw that and I went to this website and I searched for it and I found it. You can there's a little icon at the bottom where you can change it to a multi-page view, and I scrolled down it and I found the mushroom one that's in the Tim Holtz field notes pack. So these are some of my favorite ones that I've saved to my favorites. Some are insects, some are have great botanical images in them. Young Ladies Journal that has great fashion and that kind of thing. So I will put this whole list in the description box down below, and I'm just going to show you a few of the things that I found, few of the images that I found that I downloaded and I'm going to be using in my journals. There's some great map images. This one was from one of the fashion catalogs. It's all men's top hats. This one was from, I think, the Delineator. Great images. And I have spent hours and hours and hours on these websites in the last, I'd say, month, just looking for things. And in that book, The Women of Flowers, they reference some of the publications that those women were published in. Their images were published in, and I used that, and I went to the website to find some of those, and that's where some of these images actually came from. Now, These are scanned images of these antique books, so they have, I mean, they're just the way they are. Some of them are in poor condition. The things in the Tim Holtz field notes have been digitally enhanced, so they are better quality picture. But, you know, I mean, they're vintage, and that's what I like in my books. So I don't care if they're imperfect or what have you. These are all images that I found on one of those two websites. This is from a O'Neill and Company catalog from 1879. Just some advertising from that catalog. This is another clothing or a clothing store catalog from 1891. This might have been from the Delineator. Yeah, these are from the Delineator. All that great advertising and women's hats. These are from some seed catalogs. That one. This one was from John A. Salzer, S-A-L-Z-E-R and Company. If you just type in seed catalog, you're going to get hundreds. And that's one of the things I have on this list, just one of the searches to do. This was from a book on calligraphy. Oh, no, nothing on that side. And these are some of the floral images from some of the books. These are, you'll find these in one of these books that I have in my favorites. Awesome. And these are almost, here's the one from, that's in the field notes, Tim Holtz field notes, the one on butterflies. And that is that top one, Larousse pour tous, that encyclopedia. And this is how it looks printed out. Of course, it's a lot clearer on Tim Holtz little, here's some more from that encyclopedia. One on birds, one on eggs, one on wildflowers. I think this one is in Tim Holtz also. One on vegetables. And of course you've got the ones, the butterflies and moths. Those are on that website. This one I think was about calligraphy as well. And this is some more from one of the fashion catalogs. So those are the places that I go to get images that I use in my journals. And you can go there too, archive.org and biodiversitylibrary.org. So I thought I'd share that with everybody. I hope you have luck finding some of those books on eBay. You may have to wait a while to find one at a reasonable price. This one I probably paid more than I ever have for a book. I think I paid $17 for this one. But I love it, and I think it's worth it. It's got over 500 pages, so it's well worth it, I think. So that's all I have for this video. I will be back this weekend with a sale video Saturday morning, so stay tuned for that. There's going to be bling and fancy applique, so stay tuned. Bye for now.